How is Apple going to differentiate itself, other than the fact that it's Apple?
But I think that's how it's going to differentiate itself, that it's Apple. The service itself, the new service, it's lovely, I'm sure. We'll wait to see it. But all the features they described are features that are really in the marketplace, and they're doing the right features. However, they got 800 million credit cards. They've got an incredible installed base. They probably skew a little older demographically than a Spotify does. I think there's absolutely room for both of them in the market. I don't think this is a Spotify killer, but you'd be terribly short-sighted not to think that Apple's going to make create a real presence for itself in the market.
Well, the older demographic, is that a good thing?
I think it is, because it then does take advantage of what is uniquely Apple, which they trumpeted yesterday extensively, which is we're an integrated, synthesized, easy-to-use service.
Right.
So all the time you spent on either downloading or creating playlists or anything you've done to personalize, we'll just port over. And then we will add the radio, we'll add the streaming. I think they've also been quite smart on their pricing, because they don't have an ad-supported tier such as Spotify. There was some research that came out, I think just in the last 10 days or so, that I saw that said people, certainly in the Spotify environment, who take the freemium package, nearly 70% of them either buy in to a subscription within 3 months.
3 months, right.
Or they don't. So Apple has given you 3 months.
Free.
And then free.
Yeah.
And then after that, you're either in or you're not. And I think that's probably a smart use of the information that's there.
It is, and it is interesting, right? The 3 months, that seems to be kind of the cutoff point for people.
You've tried it, and it works, or it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And
it's like just enough time for you to know whether you like it or not. But here's the problem, though, Adam, because even though Spotify has something like 15 million users, and I'm not sure what Pandora has, it's still a really small portion of the listening population. So streaming music hasn't taken off. And I think part of the problem is that there's too much of it out there. There's too many choices. I'm sorry, people are just, they can't deal with it. It's like too much, and they don't want to deal with it then. So how is Apple going to make that better?
You're so right about that. And if you then take the Spotify 15 million and you say how many of those are American versus European or Northern European.
There you go, yeah.
There you go. You get down to 5 or 6 million, or maybe 7, I don't know, but it's in that region. So I do think what Apple does achieve is, remembering, like anyone under the age of 35, their primary source of access to all media today is a mobile device. So Apple really get these devices. They really understand the software. They really understand their audiences, because they've got this incredible database. They've been working with them for years. So their ability to personalize, to tailor, to encourage, to drive you towards that is probably greater than all of the others combined.
Okay.
And I think that some of the smaller streaming services, unless they're terribly niche, I think some of the smaller ones do get bumped out now, and I think you're left with Spotify and Apple. And then Pandora serves its own role in the market.
Well, I mean, those guys, first rule of business on this, right? I mean, if you're the first mover, which Spotify and Pandora both really were, you do get to keep that advantage, as long as you keep doing things right.
Correct. Correct.
Okay, so what does the problem I see, though, is that Apple shares have been down the last 2 days. So down yesterday after the news, and continues to fall, one of the biggest decliners on the NASDAQ. So clearly investors are not impressed with this. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think investors are reacting to the total package of stuff that was presented yesterday. One of the comments I read that I thought was probably quite a good one is, until they see the new cell phone or the new mobile or something around that, what's going to happen with the next generation of that device? It's not really going to move the price. Because a lot of the stuff that was announced yesterday was catch-up stuff.
Right.
And it looked pretty good, but it's catch-up stuff. There was nothing that was
they caught up on music, they caught up on news aggregation.
On all of that stuff.
And there was a software update.
And there was a software update.
So how about on the flip side, for music artists and the music industry, is this at all a game changer for them?
Well, yes, it is, potentially, and here's why I think it is. We all know that over the last year, to some people's surprise, sales of tracks and what have you have continued to decline. It shouldn't really be a surprise, as this mass migration into mobile and streaming has really It's crossed the tipping point, absolutely. So for the music companies, where's the new source of revenue? And if Apple can really, at $9.99 and $15 a month for families, $15 a month for 6 family members, pretty good value.
Pretty good, yeah.
Pretty good value. If they can really crank that up to 40, 50, 60 million over a couple of years, you know, that's real money for the labels. So in that sense, I think they've got to be absolutely delighted. On the flip side, this will be the rapid demise of the traditional iTunes business. That one, this is substitution. It's sort of eating your own young, and in a way, it's what's got to be done.
It's time, right,
it's
exactly.
Time.
The 99 cent for a song, forget it.
That game
Goodbye.
is so gone.
I haven't bought that in ages.
So gone.